This is the second half. Salt Lake Academy against Timpanogos. Salt Lake Academy in navy blue, Timpanogos in white. The score is currently in favor of Salt Lake Academy, 2-0 at the halftime. Now at the start of the second of the half, white with possession, and that ball is Noah, or number 16 was able to kick that ball out of bounds. It'll be white throw-in. That was Jonah, sorry. Ball thrown in and immediately kicked out of bounds by Dane. Ball thrown down the right-hand side for Timpanogos. Jonah covering, and that ball rolls out of bounds. It'll be a Griffin goal kick. Ball played over to the left-hand side. And that is a completed pass to Jace. Jace one touch to 25. 25 plays on the far left to Dane. Dane is able to get there, cuts back on the inside. Right foot, winds up, shoots well over the crossbars. But showing that the Salt Lake Academy is willing to put up points early in the second half despite their currently dominating 2-0 lead. And the ref's taking a moment to check on the air and a couple of the balls. Goal kick there for Timpanogos. Headed up by Dane. White will get there first, and they let that ball roll out of bounds. It'll be White throw-in. White throws the ball into traffic. 25 is able to dislodge the ball. Jonah to Talon. Talon in midfield, shimmies, recycles back to the left over to Alejandro. Alejandro, right-footed pass over to the right-hand side over to River. River cuts on the inside, dodging a tackle. River still with the ball, lays it up over to Jace. Jace up in the middle. Over to 11. 11 swings it over on the left-hand side. Shot! And on the ground, stopped by the Timpanogos keeper. White now getting the ball into their attacking third. They have a runner, and it looks like Pedro is able to get there first. He resets back to the keeper. Keeper gets the ball over to Chris. Chris at about 25 yards out over to River. River down on the right-hand side. His pass was intercepted and kicked out of bounds. It'll be White throw-in. White bringing the ball in, and a push from behind against Chris. It'll be White free kick. This one about 40 some odd, maybe more yards out. Ball kicked up high into the right side, just inside the box. Alejandro gets a head on it first. White is able to connect and make the Griffin keeper dive to save the ball. It'll be a drop kick here, or he may elect to throw the ball. He rolls the ball out over, just outside. Ball switched over, intercepted at midfield, cleared out at the last second by Alejandro. White putting more pressure on this half. SLA having to play from the back, having to play from their defensive third. Timpanogos putting more pressure on. A completed pass there to Jace. Jace with the scissor move, tackled away. White playing the ball on the left-hand side, and it's going to roll just out of bounds. So Chris throws the ball into Talon. Talon up in the middle. Over to 25. 25 left-footed pass intercepted by White. White completes a pass now in the attacking third on the right-hand side, trying to put something together. And that is Pedro, who's credited with the tackle. Gets the ball back over to the keeper on the back line, who has to clear it out. And a couple of substitutes for Timpanogos. So it is going to be White throw-in, about 18 yards out. They throw the ball in, reset back to the original thrower, and that ball is still in bounds, and it results in a corner kick after it's deflected off of the foot of a Griffin player. So this will be the first corner kick for Timpanogos this half. Run up to the kick, right-footed, dropping right in front of the circle. SLA took a moment to clear it out, brought down by White. White, Jace. No, the ball is gonna get out. Recovered by White. White keeping the ball on their attacking half, and it will be White throwing at midfield. Ball thrown into the center, chipped up high, headed down by White. White is putting something together. White lays it down. It's going to be a little bit too heavy, and it'll be goal kick for the Griffins. Ball played up the gut from Alejandro to Talon. That pass from Talon not on the same page as Chris, and that ball is headed out of bounds. It'll be a Griffin throw-in at the top of their defensive third. Chris throws the ball into the center over to 25. 25 at the top of the circle. Breaking through and broken up by White. White now on the counterattack on the right-hand side. Playing the ball on the far right-hand side. And sliding tackle there. Kept in bounds by White. And then it rolls off the baseline. It'll be a goal kick for the Griffins.
You know the cheetah pants? I wore it. And now everybody's wearing it. And I'm wearing these pants.
Right-footed kick over to Chris. Chris lets the ball bounce, challenged, and a foul called against White. It will be a free kick on the right-hand side about 15 yards before the midfield line. Ball kicked up high into the center, over the heads, connecting with 17 Angel, 11, no, that's Hernan. Hernan on the left side of the box, trying to cut the corner, cuts back in, sliding tackle by White. Hernan still with the ball. Challenged. Nutmeg the player, and is cleared out by White. Jonah gets there first. Jonah in the middle, trying to get to 25. White clears that ball out, and it will be blue throw-in. Pedro swings the ball over to midfield. It's intercepted by White. A heavy touch there. White's able to get there first. Blue is going to be able to recover. Chris lobs that ball up high on the right-hand side, trying to get to River. River wins the tackle. over to Jace on the right-hand side. Jace trying to cut the corner, and it'll be deflected off of White. It'll be corner kick for the Griffins. Griffins give the signal. Players moving into space. A run up. Ball gonna reach just before. Shot, oh, just over the crossbar. Full of power. That was Alejandro from the left-hand side with a powerful right-hand kick. You know he wanted that one. It'll be goal kick for Timpanogos. Ball back in play. Jace is able to get that ball. Jace on the left-hand side plays it up over to the left. 1-2 intercepted. Jace recovers the trash. Jace cutting back in the center, puts the ball up at the top of the box. Recovered by 25. 25 swings it over to Chris. Chris one touch. Over to 14 River. River inside the box. And tried to Travella it. And unable to connect with another Griffin. It will be the Timpanogos keeper credited with the save. Drop kicking right foot past midfield. Brought down by Talon. Talon gets the ball over to Jace. Jace's pass is intercepted. Jace able to recover. Lays the ball off over to Talon. Talon resets back to the defensive line. Alejandro, right-footed pass, intercepted, recovered by White. White has a heavy touch, and Alejandro elects to reset the ball back to the keeper. Keeper takes a touch or two. Back over to Alejandro on the right-hand side. Alejandro moves up, down the line, intended for Chris. Chris, powerful boot up into the center. Over to Hernan, it's over to River. River approaching the top of the box, cleared out by White, kept in bounds, saving the corner kick, and kicked out of bounds, resulting in a Griffin throw-in.
Farther out to start.
Chris throws the ball in. Over to Hernan. Hernan shimmies, nutmegs the player just outside of the box. Tackled away. Uses his body, shields the ball inside the box on the right-hand side. Hernan dispossessed. Ball cleared out. River gets a toe on it. River with possession. River looking to cross. Fakes the shot. Dispossessed by White. And White resets back to their keeper dangerously in the box. Hernan putting on some pressure. Ball cleared out over the right-hand side. And it will be 16 getting to the ball first. Jonah taking on a couple of players, and it is cleared out of bounds. It'll be blue throwing. Griffins with an opportunity to throw the ball in, trying to get to Jace, working the baseline. He gets that ball into the box, but is cleared out by White. Alejandro gets there first. Alejandro plays the ball over to the right-hand side, over to River. River's pass is intercepted. River is able to recover the ball, though. Working the right-hand side of the line, trying to get it over to Chris. Chris trying to make the turn right by the baseline, crosses the ball over, headed up by Hernan. Ball still in play, and it is going to be Dane chasing that ball down. Dane, right-footed cross into the box, over the head of Jace, and it will be a goal kick for Timpanogos. And a bunch of players, number 21, 19, 13, and 12 for SLA will rotate in. as 25, 25, and 16 rotate out. Timpanogos plays the ball on the right-hand side, resets back to their keeper, launches it over to the left-hand side, and that is Jose challenging for the ball, cleared out there by Timpanogos. White emerges with the ball in the middle. White up the gut, that pass will be intercepted, challenged, dispossessed, tackled away by White. It was Talon who lost the tackle. A through ball on the left-hand side, and it makes it all the way to the SLA keeper. SLA rolls the ball up in the middle to Talon. Talon taking the ball up, approaching the middle third, plays it over to the right-hand side, over to Hernan. Hernan right-footed over to River. River not offsides, just inside the box, looking to cross it. He does, and it's deflected out. It'll be a corner kick for the Griffins. And Dane, it looks like, will be the one taking the kick. Signal given. Movement in the box. Run up. Ball's going to reach the middle. Brought down by White. Blue will get there first. Shot just wide right. A diving save by the Timpanogos keeper. That one had some power on it. It'll be another corner kick for SLA. I believe this is Dane again taking the corner kick, this time from the right-hand side. Run up, right-footed kick. It's going to go well past the far side. Headed away. White will get there first. And White clears the ball out. Bouncing over the head of Antonio. Antonio back-heeled. And the call is blue throw-in. White throws the ball into, blue to Cash. Cash immediately challenged. Resets back to the defensive line to Alejandro over to Talon. Talon left-footed kick. Beautiful ball. And that is Deeks the keeper, and Dane lays it in with a brace. The score now 4-0. So it'll be another Timpanogos kickoff. Ball booted high to the right-hand side. It'll be brought down by SLA. White is able to challenge for the ball. And Talon is able to make that move, clear that ball out. Elects to keep it instead, left-footed again. Hit over to the left-hand side to Antonio. Down the left, trying to get it over to Adrian, and it rolls just out of bounds. And a substitute, Nolan coming on. And it looks like Talon coming off. Ball thrown in, chested down by White. No foul there. That was just a misstep by Blue. Blue lays the ball over to Nolan. Nolan wants touch to Hudson. White gets there first though, and they clear that ball out. Hudson back heel flick. 12 brings it down. White at midfield, unable to connect. And it looks like Antonio elects to let that ball roll out of bounds. He throws it down the left-hand side to Adrian. Adrian over to Cash. Cash in trouble. Cash dispossessed. White gets the ball. Nolan recovers. Nolan plays it over. His pass is intercepted. Nolan recovers. Gets the ball back to 17, up to Cash. Cash plays it on the left-hand side to Antonio. Antonio keeps the ball on the left over to Adrian. Adrian now in the attacking third, about 16 yards out, taking on a man. Dispossessed. White clears that ball out, and a foul against Blue. It results in a free kick for White. Timpanogos' keeper will kick that ball up to the right-hand side. Ball brought down and won by White. White puts it into the center. And a hustle by Alejandro. White gets their 12. White plays it up the middle. Alejandro on defense, still with the ball. Laying it over, they had a runner. And he's trying to keep it in bounds. He's going to get there. Challenged immediately, and it will be cleared out by number 12, Jose. It'll be White throw in right by the corner flag. White throws the ball in right by the corner and cleared out. Nolan, miscommunication there. It's okay, Blue recovers. Blue now on the counter attack. Ball swung over to the center, is a little bit too soft. Adrian recovers the ball, switches the field. Wind up shot. Top right corner. That is number 19, Cash, with the goal. Score now, I believe, 5-0. Kickoff for Timpanogos. Timpanogos keeping the ball. They lob it up past midfield. It is brought down by Blue. Blue plays it over to the right-hand side over to Esbin. Esbin challenging, and the call is Blue throwing. Number 12, Jose, throws the ball into the center over to Adrian. Adrian turns the corner, winds up, no. Back heel of Hudson. Adrian still challenging, using his body over the right-hand side, and a foul called against Adrian at the top right corner of the box. Results in a free kick for White. Adrian, I believe, is on a yellow card already, so should be playing pretty cautiously. White elects to give it back over to the keeper in the center. Immediately challenged by Blue. The ball launched over to the right-hand side. Cash challenging for it. And that is Antonio challenging for it. Ball put up in the center over to Nolan. Nolan has time. Plays it over to the left-hand side. Completes the pass, and a through ball on the left. And a sliding tackle by the keeper, and all for naught. It was offsides. Timpanogos with the free kick. Plays it soft on the right-hand side. Then launched up high into the center. Challenge one. Nolan recovers. Dispossessed. White now on the left-hand side. And Alejandro will get there first. Alejandro. Ball towed out and tackled away by White. It will be blue throw-in. Alejandro throws back to the center back to number 17, Pedro. Pedro, left foot, boots that ball to the far left-hand side. Adrian recovers, breaks a tackle, gets the ball through over to unclear. Ball intercepted by White. White now trying to put together a counterattack on the left-hand side. It'll be too much, and it will be Jose who gets that ball over to Alejandro. Alejandro resets back to their keeper. White flooding the field with a high press, and that is Pedro who gets the ball up. Ball at the feet of Hudson. He lays it off to Nolan. Nolan, Travella, right-footed kick. No foul called, and White resets back to their keeper, and a injured Griffin player is down. I believe that is Adrian who's down. He was able to get up of his own accord, and he is immediately subbed out with Dane. And play resumes back. Ref gives the ball to the keeper. Timpanogos drop kicks that ball, and that ball will roll all the way back to the Griffin keeper. A right-footed drop kick by the Griffins, brought down by Esbin. Esbin challenging. Esbin still with the ball, bringing into the attacking third. Esbin resets back to Nolan at midfield. Nolan, right-footed pass over to the other side, to left. 1-2 pass from Cash, intercepted. White with the tackle again. White, a through ball. And he gets there. White inside the box. And that ball rolls out of bounds. And it is called a corner kick. Yes, that is the correct call. So this will be the second corner kick for Timpanogos here. And Timpanogos takes this moment to make 3 subs. They'll run up to the kick, right-footed. It's going to reach in the middle of the box, and it's headed out by Alejandro. The original kicker will get there first, just outside the box. He puts it up again. Brought down by 17, inside the box. Travella kick, and it is picked up by the Griffin keeper. By Gage. Gage gets the ball over to Nolan. Nolan over to Cash. Cash back over to Alejandro. Alejandro with time and space back over to Nolan. Nolan resets back to the keeper, Gage. Gage with time puts the ball up to I believe that is Cash. Cash through ball, trying to get over to Dane. Dane wanting a hat trick. He crosses the ball over in the middle. Shot, no, deflected. White in the box. And that ball is going to roll out of bounds. It'll be White throw in by their own corner flag. That was Esbin who was trying to get there. Ball thrown in quickly. And number 12 recovers. Keeps the ball inbounds, cuts in, gets the ball over to Esbin. Esbin tackled away. White clearing the ball out of their space. Esbin gets a toe on it and it rolls out of bounds. It will be, oh, I'm sorry, that was Jose who got a toe on it. It'll be White throw in. White throws the ball in, makes the turn, challenged by Esbin, and a foul against Esbin results in a free kick for White. Right-footed free kick over to the left-hand side, brought down by White. White chips that ball up into the box, and Gage will scoop that up. Alejandro receives the ball, brings it up over to Dane. Dane up in the middle to Esbin. Esbin makes the turn, plays it over to the right, intended for Jose, but White intercepts the ball, and it is not recovered as well. Ball thrown in from Cash over to Alejandro. Ball switched over to the left-hand side. And a through ball recovered by White. And it goes out of bounds. It'll be White throw in. And a couple of substitutes for SLA. Number 20 and number 16 coming on. And it looks like the defensive line of Alejandro and Pedro will be coming off. So it'll be blue throw-in. It's Antonio throwing the ball in front of the White bench. Gets the ball over to Chris. Chris resets back over to Gage. Gage feigns the pass a little bit. Recovered by Blue. Blue, Antonio in traffic. Ball rolls out of bounds and the call is blue throw-in. Chris throws the ball down the left-hand side of the line. It's recovered by 18. 18 back heel self-pass over to the left, over to Hudson. Hudson working the left-hand side. The ball is tackled out of bounds. It will be blue throw-in. Ball thrown in. Up in the middle, trying to get over to Cash. Cash working with his feet. Tackled away, and it'll be White who gets there first. White resets back to their center back, who lobs that ball up just outside of the D. It'll be recovered by Hudson. Hudson tackled away. White now with the right hand side. And Jonah with a block. Jonah with the tackle. Jonah looking to cross the ball. Plays it up the line over to Nolan and kicks that ball out of bounds. White throws the ball headed away by Blue. No foul called there, even though a Blue player went down. Hudson challenging for the ball. White keeping the ball in there, attacking third. 22, Esbin is able to touch that ball. White is going to get there first, trying to turn to the corner, moves it in the center. A sliding tackle. White. Cash gets the ball over to Nolan. Nolan takes a touch on the inside. Movement with the ball. breaks the ankles of another player, gives the ball back over to Gage. Gage swings the ball over to the left-hand side over to Chris. Chris brings the ball up over to Cash. Cash now just before midfield. Keeps it on the left-hand side, connects to a pass. Ball brought over, passed over to Cash. Cash over to Hudson. Hudson over to the right-hand side, looking to swing, gives it over to Esbin. Esbin in, just inside the box, shoots just over the woodwork. And a couple of more substitutes. It looks like River coming in. Number 11, Hernan coming in. 25 coming in. Nolan coming out. Dane coming out. And it will be a Timpanogos goal kick here. That was Jose challenging for the ball there. Cleared out by Jonah. Gets the ball up over to River. River at the midfield. In the center. Still with possession. Moving over to his left. Swings the ball over the far left-hand side. About 22 yards out. Challenged. Ball recycled back over to Chris. Chris back over to Jonah. Jonah up in the center again. Ball swung over to the right-hand side, over to Jose. Jose breaks the tackle, looking to cross the ball. He chips it up over, diving, punch out. River kicks the ball also over the crossbar.
Maldita sea, ya cállate la gente.
Timpanogos again with the goal kick. Challenged by River. White maintains possession. River from behind putting on pressure. And 25 is able to get a toe on it. White maintains possession though. White intercepted by River. River puts the ball up over to the right-hand side, over to 11. That was Hernan over to River. River back over to Hernan. Hernan on the right-hand side, inside the box. Cuts over to the center, sliding tackle, and is cleared out by White. And it is going to be a corner kick for Salt Lake Academy. Signal given. This is River who will be taking the kick from the right-hand side. Right-footed kick, medium height in the center, unable to be brought down. Just outside the box, a lob shot, and it's going to go about 5 yards wide right. The entirety of SLA's team is just on the inside of this half. Ball rolls out of bounds and is called White throw-in in front of the blue bench. White throws the ball into center, is cleared up, headed back by 25, Jonah. Nutmegged and a handball called against Jonah. So this will be a free kick opportunity for the Timpanogos Timberwolves to be able to put a point up on the board. In the last 5 or so minutes, here's the run up Right-footed spinning, Gage grabbed it at about the 6-yard line. It had the right spin, but Gage was able to follow that the entire time. And Hernan trying to tackle the ball away. White maintaining possession. And that is the final score. SLA 5, Timpanogos 0.